started mixing my resin, so I'm gonna start stirring while I talk to you about what we're doing. So this has been on, what we're doing tonight is something that's been on my plate for quite some time. Hey Linda, hey Gina, hey Debbie again, hey Sandra. So I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. I'm mixing my resin, so that's why I'm looking down. Hey Donna, hey Susan, I know it's gonna be fun, I hope. If it turns into a disaster, it'll just be a fun disaster, right? Hey Kim. So I have been wanting to do this for a long time. I bought these bowls, these little wooden bowls from, I think, TJ Maxx in Eatonton, Georgia, probably 6 months ago before Christmas, because I was going to do something inside the bowls with resin. So I was unpacking yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, I was unpacking a couple of boxes. Hey Dee, hey Kathy. Hello again, ladies. Hey Jane, hey Linda. If I said it twice, just hi twice. So I found these while I was unpacking a box that had a bunch of goodies in it. Because I was looking for a seashell to do this in. But when I came across these bowls, I was like, jackpot, we're gonna do this. Hey, Michelle from Texas. So we are going, I've not done this particular project before, but I feel good about it. But we're going to do a little beachy style, like a ring dish. Just a little decorative bowl. Thank you, Mary, for sprinkling. Hey, Richard. Hey, Diana. I'm going to do a little beachy style, fingers crossed, right inside the bowl, this little bowl. So I've already started mixing my resin, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing since I already started mixing, and I don't want it to get too crazy hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera down. So Katrina, it'll probably be next week. I'm still getting a lot of messages back. And I have to figure out how to do that too. So, but we're working on that, and it'll probably be maybe tomorrow, but very soon, I promise. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you down so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll try to explain it as I go. Thank you, everyone, for any sprinkling that is done during this live. All the sprinkles appreciated. So I'm going to flip myself so you can see how I can see. So I'm going to turn my camera down right to, sorry, it takes a second, right to my little bowl. I think. Give me a sec to get my act together. So this is just, I bought a set, okay? Just two little wooden bowls. I'm pretty sure I got these at like TJ Maxx or something like that in Eatonton. Maybe even the Goodwill. You're a good sprinkler, Richard. You be so smart. So I got these little bowls. I'm not 100% sure. I think I got them at TJ Maxx. So I want to make something really fun out of these bowls. And I saw a couple of really cute ring trays, ring dishes, that sort of thing on Pinterest a couple of months back. But they were done in a seashell, which we are going to do as well. Not today, but we're going to do maybe tomorrow or Saturday. But when I found this, I thought this is perfect. Now here is how, I'm going to stir while I'm doing this. Here is how I figured out how much resin I needed. I just took water and poured it into my little dish just to the level that I wanted my resin to be. Then I poured it into a measuring cup, and it turns out that the exact depth that I want is exactly 1 ounce. So then I dried it out really good because water and resin don't mix. So make sure that you dry it out. I even ran my blow dryer into it to make sure. that it was nice and dry. And if you have some wood that's super porous, this is acacia wood, so it's not porous, but if you have some wood that's really porous, you're gonna wanna seal that as well, so it doesn't just absorb the resin. So I'm mixing some resin, and then we are going to distribute the resin into a couple of separate little cups. As soon as I'm done, I got another 30 seconds or so to mix my resin. It only takes an ounce, but I went ahead and made 2 ounces because I have 2 dishes, and I thought I'll just do both of them. Thank you, Denise. You're awesome. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Sandy. Y'all know I love my sprinkles. So I'm mixing up 2 ounces of my resin. Okay, and I think it's probably just about ready. You guys are awesome. So I am going to distribute a little bit. There's something on this cup. Hang on. We don't want that in our resin. I'm going to just put a little bit of resin in each cup. That'll total an ounce. Let's see. That is, oops. Trying to see. 1/4 ounce. We'll probably go a little bit more than that. And then we'll do a little bit in here, a tiny bit in here, because this will be white, and we only want a smidge. And then we'll leave this for extra. Yes. Oh, I'm sure. That would be beautiful. Okay, hello from frozen Maine. Darlene, it ain't no better here. It ain't frozen, but it ain't that great here either. So I have a teeny amount of clear in this cup, which I am going to just put 1 little drop of the Anita's white craft paint. Just, boom, a little drop just to make this bit white. Now, when you use acrylic paint, and I might need a little bit more. Let me add a little more resin. When you use acrylic paint in your resin, it's opaque, okay? So it's not gonna be sheer and clear and see-through. It's going to be opaque. And this is gonna be my beach waves. My paint's not cooperating. So, oh my God, of course. Let me open the top. So we are gonna make something really fun out of this bowl. Really cute little, I wanna make sure I don't just dump a whole bunch into there. All right. So we're stirring. I'm mixing in the white craft paint, the white acrylic, into... Hi, Bernadette from Ireland? What time is it there, girl? Ireland. Okay, so we have whites. You put the top back on. Now I'm going to use alcohol ink, and this is Tim Holtz alcohol ink, and this color is called Sailboat Blue. So I am gonna put some Sailboat Blue, just squirted about that much. Don't ask me, I don't know. Mix in, and the alcohol ink is super translucent, okay? So it's gonna show through. Now I'm gonna add just 1 little dot of denim, which is a really darker, much darker color, just to give it a little bit more, make it a little bit darker, because they didn't really have the exact color I wanted. So we'll stir that in. Hello, Elaine. Thank you for sprinkling. So that's a nice blue. I'm going to show you on my thing how good that looks. Look how pretty a blue that is. Is that not fabulous? Okay, and in this cup, we're going to do another alcohol ink, and this one is Mermaid. That's got to be delicious, right? That's gonna be a nice tealy color. This is gonna be so much fun. I hope this turns out like it is in my head. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. 2:20 in the morning. Me either, Bernadette, me either. I never sleep. Last night I finally went to sleep here around, I don't know, 3:30 in the morning. Then, when it's time to get up, you're miserable. Hobby Lobby. Hobbly Lobbly. And I want just a little bit more in here so it's darker. They're at Hobby Lobby. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any of those crafty stores. Amazon, wherever. Okay, now what you want to do, I'm going to set these all over here so that I can spill them properly when it's time. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is wipe that crap off of my canvas so I don't smear into it. Alcohol ink. Tim Holtz is the brand. Alcohol ink. Okay, now we don't have too terrible of a mess. So one of the things that's super important in this process is to make sure you don't get any of the resin where you don't want resin to be, right? So I really only want it in the center of my cup. I don't want it running off the top or down the sides, okay? So I'm gonna start with my darkest color, and I am gonna take my stick out, and I am going to have my towel ready so that I can wipe up onto my cup once I get the amount of resin in here that I want. So, there's that. We don't want it to drip, so I'm just gonna move it away. Look how pretty that color is. Spectacular. So I'm gonna shake it up just a little bit. Maybe stir it in. Ooh. I want it to come up the side a little. I've never done this. This is new for me. So don't get mad if it turns out crap. I don't know if it will or not. I kind of feel like I need to turn it this way. Like I should have done it in layers. Like this layer first, let it dry. The next layer, let it dry. And we may do that with this one. I may do a layer tonight and then let it dry because I feel like this color is just gonna drown in that dark color now that we mention it. So I am going to just run this color. Yep, it's just gonna bleed together. That's okay, I'm not gonna waste it. We're gonna add a little bit of white. I'm gonna use my stick. I'm gonna add a little bit of white right there. And maybe a little drizzle. Told y'all this was an experiment. Yeah, this is better for a video, I guess, since it probably needs to be done in layers. And now what I'm gonna do is just blow on it a little bit. Oh, look, I made a smiley face. So I'm just blowing on it, okay? I'm holding it up to my face. Making some beach waves. This is not turning out at all how I wanted it to. But that's okay too. Real life, baby, real life. I'm gonna get a little bit more of the white and drizzle it right there. I wish I had a straw. Let me see if I have one. It'd be easier to blow if I had a straw. Well, it's not really turning out the way I wanted, but we're gonna go with it anyway. And then what I'll do is film the next one and then post the video for it, because I think each color needs to dry so that you see the depth of all the colors. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take these gloves off real quick. And I actually have in my possession a tiny bit of sand. So I'm actually going to put something under one edge of my, I'm looking around trying to find what I want. Something under one edge to kind of tilt my thing up. And here's something perfect. Just gonna tilt it up about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. So it kind of runs to one side. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of sand in my fingertips and just apply it to that edge. Like I said, I'm flying by the seat of my pants at this point. This is already a disaster, so there's nothing I can do to hurt it, right? And now, what I have, glass. I'm just gonna use some of the smaller chunks. I'm gonna put a few pieces. I'm gonna have to add some more white waves. Not even remotely. I told you it could be a disaster, not even remotely what I was expecting. But you can close, I can't see how good the color is in the camera, like when I'm looking up here at my iPad, but it does, the color is pretty in person. Maybe just needs to have a picture. Now I'm gonna just lay in a couple of, ooh, whoa, easy cowgirl. A couple of shells on this edge. I wish I had a little tiny baby starfish. That would be super cute. So I like odd numbers, so I'm gonna stick with 3 shells. I'm gonna take some of my clear. I'm gonna run it carefully over those shells. I don't wanna drip any on the side of my bowl, but I just want my shells to be covered a little. So be careful. We are definitely gonna, now that I've made a disaster of this, I know exactly what I need to do. So, I'm gonna add a little bit of a wave, and then we're gonna just let this dry. And I'm gonna add the white right around where, I'm gonna do it very carefully, right around where I added my glass. Be patient, do it very carefully, because this is like the white foam of the water hitting the shoreline here. I'm gonna hit it with I got a little dot on my thing. Watch this. There. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of fire and see. Be super careful. I know, right? Well, and it goes to show too that I don't know all the things. I'm not even gonna pretend to know all the things. Sometimes we all have to learn the hard way, but you know what? Turns out I kind of am digging this. I'm gonna add, hang on, a few blue pieces. Why? Because I can. This is Pacific blue glass, and I'm just gonna add a few little pieces right along there. And then we're just gonna let that rest. I'm gonna leave it tilted up a little. And I don't know if you can see that wave there in the middle, how it turned into cells, but that is super cute. Super, super cute. And I'm trying to figure out what to do next. I want to go ahead and do the other one since I already have the resin mixed. So I'm going to set this on the table. We are going to go ahead and mess up the second one too while we're at it. So we have this one. Hey, I ain't scared. Okay, so I think I'm gonna add, I should have my gloves on. Don't be me. Don't do it gloveless. I'm gonna add just some clear to the bottom. Maybe that'll help. We'll add the mermaid color. Just gonna dump it all. Let's see if I can get it all out. Ooh. We'll get rid of that. I have a tiny bit of this blue left, so I'm gonna get it out too. Just put it right on one side like it's the horizon. Yeah, it actually looks better than I thought it was going to after I first put the color in. But I do think layering it is going to be better. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to put that over there before I make a mess. And I still have some white somewhere. Let's see. Here it is. So I'm going to add some white. Very carefully, right along there. And I'll tell you, I want to show you the other thing close up and show you one of the things I have noticed since it's starting to settle is that the white starts kind of flowing underneath. I wish I could pick it up. I don't want to disturb it though. Underneath that darker color, and it really ends up making it look nice. So I'm going to add a few little waves here and there. I'm going to save this last bit till we do put our glass in. So I'm going to lift this up, and I'm just going to blow this a little so that the white moves, okay? I'm going to try the fire first. The fire will make it move. So this is just a torch. See what the flame does is it kind of disperses the white and makes it run. I'm going to turn it this way. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. I'm digging that. It's like the white is flowing up under. Oh yeah, mama likey. Okay, so we're gonna add glass again, have some shells again. We're gonna add those. I'm gonna skip the sand this time. I'm gonna do some clear glass, small bits. Oh, I need to, well, that just went right down into the bowl because, hang on. This bowl is not as deeper. It's not as flat on the inside as that one, but that's okay. We're gonna go with it. Tis what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's too steep for to put a turtle there, but we are going to add a few shells on the side. Let's see, 1, 2. Dang, I wish I had a tiny, tiny little starfish. Would that not be spectacular? All right, now I'm gonna add a little more clear on top of those shells just to secure them. Be super careful. Don't drip on the inside of your bowl. Yeah, this is definitely trial and error at its finest live on Facebook. Because this is turning out nothing like I thought it was going to, but still not terrible. Still not bad. Okay, that was clear. Now, let's see, what do I want to do? I want to push this around a little. Oh my goodness, the white is sneaking down into the bottom of the water. It looks really cool. I can't wait to show y'all. I can't wait for it to dry so I can take a picture, because who knows, if you guys have ever worked with resin, you know that you just don't know what it's gonna look like with something like this until it's completely dry and done. And you come back the next day and it's like, oh, well, that's completely different from how it was when I left here. And that's just how it is when you're tinting resin. So I'm adding some white along my shoreline, around that glass. We're gonna add just a little bit more out here in the ocean where it's been kind of stormy, so the waves are kicking up. Right? All right. So see, when you do an experiment live on Facebook and it doesn't turn out how you want it to, then you have to just start making jokes, right? I'm gonna heat it up with just a little bit from my torch. I wish I had a straw, but I don't. So I'm gonna just blow with my mouth. So pardon me. Oops. Can you see that? Hang on. So we're gonna let it be. I'm gonna show you the other one so you can see how fantastic it's starting to look. We'll let that be. Check this one out. I love the darker color, and you can see the white starting to seep underneath the color. Turned out not so terrible. Not what I expected, but not terrible either. So here's this one.